Imagine you've come out in the morning to take your car for driving to go home, to drop the kids to school, whatever it is that you need your car for. And when you look inside, the battery's not charged. What happened? I left the car charging all night, but the battery's not charged. I have 5% battery left. What am I going to do now? The car doesn't charge. Well, that's exactly the reason why we're here today. This EV, right behind us, Hyundai Ioniq electric, has a problem with charging. So you'll connect the charger, but nothing happens. You can hear the locks locking, but then very quickly, within 2-3 seconds, it just unlocks the handle again. So it's not accepting charge. So that's today's job. Let's try to find out exactly what's wrong with this EV, and let's just fix it. Right, step number 1 completed. We've confirmed the issue, the car is not charging. Now, step 2, I would like to take an approach on taking the diagnostic machine and finding out exactly what codes we have to see if there's anything pointing in the direction of what the issue might be. Okay, now that we've scanned the car, we know what the codes are. So we have on the smart cruise control 1 fault code, and on the charge control module 1 fault codes. And another interesting thing is that the BMS, so the battery management system, doesn't respond to the diagnostic machine. So let's have a look at what the codes might be. Going down to here, CAN timeout and CAN timeout on the battery management system. Right, so the problem now is with the CAN. We have established that. So we have a direction of where to go now. So the CAN lines, you have CAN high, CAN low, so we'll have to check that with oscilloscope. But because the BMS is not responding to any communications, I would like to start with that. So we want to investigate, like visually check that BMS to see what is happening there. Now, for me to be able to do that, we'll have to do the procedure to shut down the vehicle, because the BMS is inside of the high voltage battery. On these cars, it's quite nice that they have an actual access port, so you can just open a lid and check the BMS. Some other cars, you do have to actually drop the whole high voltage battery down to be able to inspect that. So for now, let's just shut down the vehicle, go underneath, visually inspect that BMS, and then after that, we'll be able to connect the oscilloscope, check the lines, and then reinstate the car back up and see what the communication is doing. So let's do that for now. And now that we've disconnected the 12 volts and we've disconnected the fuse at the back, we will have to wait for around 10 to 15 minutes. Anyway, we are going with the car up, so the time is already counting, and by the time we start working on there, we'll check with the multimeter, check that there's no voltage on there to be able to get those gloves off and work safe. Well, now that we are connected into the CAN line, CAN high, CAN low, and we have a clear image of what's happening with the communication there, I can clearly tell you that's screwed. If I'm gonna say something else, yeah? So, we've established that we clearly have an issue with the communication. We can see that. Now, let's try to disconnect that BMS, as we had no comms with it. So I'm really thinking that there has to be something going on there. So we're going to raise the car, disconnect that, and we'll have a look at to see what happens with the data. So let's do that now. Okay, this is the plug going inside of the battery. So that's where the communications are going inside all the way to the BMS. So if my theory is correct, like 99% of the times, if I disconnect this, we should see the communications being reinstalled there, like we can see the communications going on. So I'm gonna pull this out. I can pull it out to show you, but I want to pull it out while the camera is pointing at the computer so you can have a look exactly what happens. And now I'm gonna go back and disconnect this. So let's go. And it is out. There you go. 100% correct. So there you have it. We established the problem is inside of the battery, most likely with that BMS, because the way the waveform on the can is showing, I don't believe we have an issue with the wiring. I don't think it's shorted. I don't think any of that, because the image is very clear there is a problem with the module. So we're going to go ahead now and replace that module, and then we will do the final test, which is replacing the module, connecting the plug back again, and seeing if the communications are still there. So let's do that now. Yeah, plug it back in now. Okay, that's back in and communication is still good. Let's have a look. And as you can see, communication is still beautiful, everything is going on. So now that we established that the communication is good, everything is working, I'm 99% sure again that once we put that charger back in, it will start charging. So let's give it a go. Yeah, we have charge. So it's charging. Let's have a look there. Come with me. Should you? So as you can see in there, if this thing focus, we have 12 amps, 2.86 kilowatts going in, and 239 volts. That's another repair accomplished on another EV. So again, recap. We had the car coming in, no charging. We ran a diagnostics on it, found out about the CAN timeout communication and BMS no communication. We decided to have a visual inspection of the BMS itself. We've done a CAN network check. We found that there was an issue with the CAN. We've found that the issue on the CAN was caused by the BMS. We've replaced that BMS, and now the car is ready to go back to the owner, already charging. So if you have any charging issues with your EV and you want to follow any tips or anything, just subscribe. If you are around the area and you want to get your EV repaired, please bring it to us. We'll look after you and take care of your car. So yeah, thank you for watching until now, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye bye.